What up, great people? Pastor G is in the house. I made it to LA. I made it here safely. Thanking God for making it here safely today. I want to be and will always be faithful to lunchtime uplift, even though it's a little bit later. We'll call this late afternoon uplift, even though here I'm 2 hours now behind. I'm thankful for safe travel. Thank all of you guys for sending out your travel wishes, best wishes and travel. Thankful. Me and Kai and I are here. I'm excited, even though he's not here. I just checked in. He got here before me. He went to a show called The Talk. Yep, The Talk. The View. No, it's The Talk. He went to The Talk. I got a cousin that is the muscle. When you see the muscle man, Marcel Brown, that's my cousin. He comes out on that. But I wanted to be faithful to lunchtime uplift. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know, I was traveling today, and I'm sharing with people as I'm talking. I was traveling today, and it occurred to me when I landed here in LA. It's a little bit cooler than I would desire. And I started hearing myself complain about a whole lot of things, and this is interesting. And I'm not gonna be as long today as I would customarily be. I said, man, it's not as warm as I would like for it to be. It's usually warm when we come here. I thank you, Blue. I think you're still here as well. I said it's usually warmer than this, and then of course the traffic here is a lot different than where we come from, and so I started to complain about the traffic. Now this is interesting because I want to build a perspective. It started out early this morning because coming out of Little Rock, usually when I get to the airport. We are a little bit slower than most cities. It's just the way it is. We're a little bit slower. But today, for some reason, getting through security was very slow. It was very slow. I was wondering to myself if there was a security alert in the nation that they have not told us about because they was very meticulous today. They were very careful at whomever came through the line. And so getting on the plane, I'm going somewhere with this. This is important. I want you to hear what I'm saying, because this is very important, because so many of us are en route to unusual places, different places. Our life is shifting. We are about to take flight, if you will. I always say this when I think about going on a flight. I can prepay for trips. Have trips prepaid for me to go. The first thing I've got to have when I step up to the counter is an ID. If I don't have an ID, I'm not going anywhere. I don't care if I got a first class flight. If I don't have ID, I'm not going anywhere. And so that's always interesting to me. And it's always need to be understood that you got to know who you are. If you don't have identification, there are a lot of things that you won't be privy to. There are a lot of trips, if you will, that you won't be able to go, even though they are available, because of your negligence and your desire and your diligence in finding out who you are. It's going to be difficult sometimes. And so we have things paid for. Actually, our destiny has been paid for by God, and it's ours to seize. But if we don't have identity, we don't know who we are. If we haven't put in the work to understand, then we will be left behind in your own life. Left behind in your own life. Many are being left behind in their own life because they don't know who they are. And so it's important that we get all of these things. It's important that we know all of this stuff. Now, share me, because I'm gonna give you something, and I'm gonna be real quick today. I want to share something. Something really crossed my mind as I was flying because of the inconvenience of getting prepared. Now, I've come to LA. I've took the audacity one time. To drive to Los Angeles, California from Little Rock, Arkansas. It was a bold cool gesture. And my family, young family, did it. Now, I'm calling this video, it's called Inconvenient Convenience. Inconvenient Convenience. This is interesting. Inconvenient Convenience. Now, after traveling here, getting here, again, it's cold. Traffic is a little bit different than what I'm accustomed to when I come here. But hear what I'm about to say. Hear what I'm about to say. This is important. I need you to hear this. Hear this. But it is more convenient to fly to me than to drive. It is more convenient to fly than it is to drive. That's why I'm calling this inconvenient convenience. Inconvenient convenience. Because I began to complain because, the flight was packed, of course. And, when your flight is packed, everybody's got to go to the bathroom at the same time. So that means you got to get in line. You got to wait on some things. So I was complaining about that. I actually was complaining after I got here to get to rent a car place. It was a different experience this time. So I had to complain about that a little bit. And so when I started thinking about this, I started thinking to myself, I said, the time that we drove here, we at our own desire could stop and do whatever we wanted. If we want to stop somewhere, all you had to do is stop. That was the blessing or the convenience of driving. But now, me flying here, I declared several times that I would never, ever drive that far again. Why are you saying this? Because this is important. This is important that you get here. Because we have taken the wrong perspective on things. We think in our mind, because we have gone through a few challenges. When we go through a few challenges, we start calling things inconvenient convenience. Let me explain. We start calling things inconvenient convenience. The flight here is much better than the drive here. No matter how much hassle I had to go through, no matter how many lines. See, if I had driven here, it'd take 2 days to drive. And so if you got a week vacation, that means that 4 days out of your week is spent in drive time. And so you don't really get to enjoy it. What happened to me today is because of my small hassle, I thought it was too much of an inconvenience. And I've already complained to my wife about how inconvenient it was. Then I had to realize that I am taking the wrong perspective. I'm calling convenience inconvenient first. And so I'm saying it's an inconvenient convenience. That's the way we have processed our lives. God has blessed us with blessings. We prayed for a job or employment, and the only spot that was open at the time was a third shift. And now we forget that the third shift afforded us an opportunity to pay some bills. It did. We don't like it, but it afforded us an opportunity to pay bills. So now we think that this blessing of employment, even though it's not at the right time that we desire, we start saying that this is an inconvenient convenience. It's inconvenient. We have several places in our life that we prayed for and God actually gave it to us, and now we consider it an inconvenient. We actually think that the old way was better than the new way because of, listen, every time God blesses us with a convenience, there is an inconvenience that is automatically attached to it. It's just no way around it. When you get something as a blessing, there is an inconvenience that is attached to it. But my perspective can't see the inconvenience more than I see the convenience of what I have. If you get a new job, so many get a new job, that means that the hours change and the schedule change. You might get more money, but now it changes your schedule. And so that means that you had a routine that you had become accustomed to. Now you got to break the routine. If you're not careful, you're going to say that what you've been praying for and now you have been afforded the opportunity is inconvenient in your life because of the perspectives that we have taken. And so I wanted to point that out because as you are shifting and transitioning, God is allowing some things to be convenient. But if you're not careful, you're going to call it an inconvenience and you're going to term it a inconvenient convenience, as opposed to saying I got a convenient moment, and as opposed to as a consequence, or always going to be challenges attached to my a blessing. We can't get around that. We just got to say, hey, look, this is a part of my life. I was thinking, and I'm just talking to you because this is an interesting time. This is an interesting time. You're going to get things, but the way that you see it is going to be very important. It's going to influence your energy. It's going to influence your energy. If you don't see your blessing right, your energy is going to be messed up when you go after it. This is so important. When God blesses you, you got to see it as a blessing, even though there's challenges attached to it. You got to see it as a blessing. You got to know that this is something that God allowed me to put my hands on, and there's some inconvenience that come with it. There is. It's always going to be. That's why Scripture always declares us overcomers. Why? Because we face challenges and we overcome. So if I don't understand what is happening, God is giving me a convenience, but there's an inconvenience that's always attached. My energy toward the blessings of God is going to be low. I'm going to start calling my blessing a cursing. I'm going to start thinking ill toward the things I have prayed for my entire life. I am an overcomer. So here's one thing I want us to understand. There are many of you that are listening to me right now. You are being blessed to go places that you've never gone before. Doors are opening to you that have never been opening, that have never opened before. I want you to hear me. Today, again, and you know, when you get into a place that you've never or you haven't been, or you don't frequent as much as you would like to, things shift. From year to year, things shift. You notice things shift from year to year. Roads that were open now are closed. Things that they used to do, they learn new ways to do it, and they implement. They put it into action. And so today, going to rent a car, I am accustomed to coming out and going out and getting on a shuttle that goes to that particular rental car location. Well, today it was a little different. They didn't have the shuttle that goes to the rental car place. I didn't know. That's what I'm accustomed to doing. Now you have to catch a bus to another lot, and then the shuttles are at the lot because of the traffic is so heavy. When I got off, I was running in circles because I was not familiar with how things operate there. It wasn't that I was not supposed to be there, because I had planned this. I had paid for it. I am supposed to be here. I have reservations to be here. But sometimes in our going to different places, God is going to give us new opportunities that we are not acclimated to. And so sometimes it's going to be way out of what we thought would happen. Hear me. This is important. It's going to be different than what we thought, or different than what we did the last time that we came this route. And so I was standing there going back and forth. And then a young lady says to me, I guess she saw that I was kind of confused in the face, and she says to me, what are you looking for? And when she says this to me, I said, I'm looking for my rental car shuttle. She says, oh no, you got to get on the bus to go to the rental car place. I said, oh, now I understand that the operations have changed on me. Here's what the Lord spoke to me in that instance. He says, in this next level that he's going to give you privilege to, there are some people that you're going to have to trust in this season that you don't even know. But the fact that you are seeking for the new level, the fact that you are going after the new level, he's going to actually put people in your space and in your company that is going to give you instructions that are going to lead you to your next level. This is important. You can't get caught up in how inconvenient it is. You can't get caught up in how challenging it is. You can't say, well, I wish I was back home. No, this has been bought and paid for, you're going to have to grab a hold to this new opportunity. But your perspectives have got to be correct, because your energy has got to be ready to move. You are moving in faith. You are moving in faith. Faith sometimes seems inconvenient because we want to do it like we've done it. We want to do what we have mastered. We want to do what we are accustomed to doing. Now listen to me. It is insane for you to keep doing what you've done the same way you've done it and expect that you're going to get something different out of what? Hear me now. To expect that you're going to get something different if you keep doing. I'm talking about in every phase of your life. This is why God is pushing so many of you right now. Pushing you. He's pushing you into challenge. Pushing you into areas that make you uncomfortable. You don't have a choice. Because you keep saying, I desire, and when you ask, you seek, and you knock, he sends. That's been the thing. You've been asking for something that you are not ready to even face. Whenever there is an opportunity and there is a convenience that God affords us, there is an inconvenience that is attached to it. We are overcomers. Always will be. There's no way you're going to get around using faith. Always, you will always be in a situation that you will have to use faith and overcome. You cannot let your perspective be wrong in these situations, because you're going to places that you have not gone. It's going to be some places that you have to change for. In fact, there's some things that God is going to make. These things that you have never, listen to me. You have never been here before. You thought you have. You thought you had been down this road. You thought that you had an opportunity before. But now you're recognizing that you didn't. You never had this. And that's a blessing, because God is opening up new opportunities. But every convenience is going to be accompanied by an inconvenience. Your perspectives cannot be wrong. If it is, your energy to go after, to conquer, is going to fall. So I'm here. It's not as cool, it's not as warm as I would love it to be, but I'm here. I had to go through a lot of things to get to where I can settle in, but I'm here. There was challenges, issues, but I'm here. So again, many of you are going to get new job opportunities. There's several things. They're going to break your rhythm. They're going to change some things in your life. You've been praying for them, but you can't say that this is an inconvenience. You got to understand that this is a convenience that come with challenges. Every day of my life, God opens up new doors. I'm going to be inconvenient, have some inconvenience in some areas, but I've got to, remember, when I was walking around LAX looking like I was lost, but I was seeking for something, God sends people into our space. God is not telling us to know everything. He says seek for it. Even when you're in a place that's not familiar to you, still seek for it. He'll send somebody. Listen, this next level is going to require people that you don't even know. This next level is going to require somebody that you are not familiar with. This next level, it's going to be fully maximized with faith in God's system and his operations. Are you listening to me? And so you got to be ready to do something that you've never done. You cannot call this inconvenience. So many that are listening to me right now, you have quit because this does not look like something you're familiar with. Really? Really? Now, insanity, again, is trying to do the same thing and expecting what you see in your mind. You see something big in your mind, but you think you're going to continue to do what you've done your entire life. Really? 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 You're going to do the same old thing, but God is going to show you this, going to let you see this vision you see in your mind, but you don't expect to do any changes. Really? You don't expect any challenge. Really? You don't expect nothing to be difficult in your life. Really? You really gonna tell yourself? How many times will you continue to tell yourself that I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing? and I'm going to get everything God has got for me. How has that worked? I want to challenge you. How has that worked? So our perspectives, we're calling things inconvenient. We're calling everything inconvenient. I'm praying for a different life, but when God sends it, this is too inconvenient for me. We found that we just don't want to do the work it takes to move to the next level. The opportunities from God are there. I'm telling you, you ain't, listen, I'm using ain't too. You ain't seen nothing yet. God has dropped something in my spirit that causes me to go out of my comfort zone. And I'm going out of my comfort zone. And I don't care who don't like it, because I won't live any longer saying that I wish I had, because of the inconvenience. Hey, I am built like you. I am built to change everything that I touch. I am built to introduce something that has never been introduced before. I am here to be the unique one. I am here whenever you are going after destiny. Whenever you are going after destiny. Remember, shipwrecks are a part of destiny. Remember, challenge and storms are a part of destiny. I'm telling you something. One of your greatest enemies is the fact that when a challenge comes, you actually implement the same routine that you implemented before. We don't know. It hasn't been any other thing but the process that we process it through. We're trying to make a better situation out of the same thing. We are implementing the same thing. And we get so surprised that at the end of the day, I see the same thing. And so what God is doing, he's pushing you in such a corner right now that you automatically say that's not going to work. And you're going to be challenged. I'm telling you, listen to me. If you would just go after and tell God, throw up your hands, smart ones. I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to the smart ones. If you would throw up your hands and say, God, I'm willing, but I don't know how. I have no idea how this happens. And that's not a kick against your knowledge or who you are. You are actually telling the truth. If you say that you're going somewhere that you've never gone before, that means that you don't know how to operate there yet. It's the truth. You just don't. That does not mean that God won't give you the direction, but he's not going to fight with you over trying to download your blessing into your life. He's just not going to do it. And that's been the thing that he had to do, is try to fight you. You telling God, no. See, no. See, no. If you have someone that has, as your testimony declares, all knowledge and all information, I would start listening. So when he shifts on you and say, go in this direction, and you've never been there, you can't argue with him. When he say, let them go, you can't argue with him, because now you have actually taken away your ability to declare. You are declaring his words, right? Yeah. You declare, I will declare the word. You are declaring his words, but now you're going to say, he just gave me a word, but I disagree with it. Your actions disagree with what God has said. He says, if you would listen to me and just follow my directions, I'll give you the right people. They have information. They're not connected to people that are going contrary to my desire in their destiny. You have a chief shepherd right now. Remember, he says, other sheep I have. You have a master shepherd right now that's got sheep planted all over the world. I'm going to say this to somebody because you need to hear this. You got the master shepherd who got sheep planted all over the world, and they hear his voice. He said, they hear my voice, right? You got people right now. I landed in L.A., and my Father in heaven has got people right here in L.A. that never met me before in their entire life. They wouldn't have known me from anybody else. But because they're under the same order that I'm under, They automatically know exactly what I need by instinct because the chief shepherd just laid it up on their heart to give to me. And it's so incredible that they can give you exactly what you need to the pin. And you wonder, how did you know? It's because the Father, your daddy, the master of the universe, has got his eye on you, and he's got people planted everywhere. It's not a hard thing for him to step in, but you got to change the way you see yourself. Your destiny is calling you, and it's shouting out to you very loud. I'm feeling this in my spirit. Your destiny is calling you. You've been fighting from your flesh view. If you fight from your flesh view, you're going to get mixed up because of your flesh wounds. When I fight from my flesh view, or what I see in my flesh, or what I accomplish in my own education, I'm going to start getting my view and vision messed up because of my flesh wounds. And so God is shifting us right now. He's speaking very loudly to us. He says, I created life for you. I created the life. I'm the one. God says to you, he's the one that can say yes when everybody tell you no. He's the one can have you walking into arenas where you are less qualified than everybody else, and he give you the nod. And when you get his endorsement, nobody else can refuse you. He's the one. He's the one that opens up doors. He's the one that opens up and close doors. He opens and closes doors. That's why he's in this season, is trying to get us refocused on the real power. The real power is getting focused on him. I said something last night in my Bible study, and I'm done, because I said I wasn't going to take as long today. But there's many of you that need to hear this, and you need to hear this clearly, because there's another opportunity that's coming to your door. And don't you think it's too inconvenient to go after? The favor of God, hear me, the favor of God follows the purposes of God. Favor is attached to purpose. Favor ain't attached to a person. Now, I know you all that. I know people call your name, everybody know your name. But when the scripture says God has no respect of person, there's a deep understanding I must understand. My person, my flesh, is not what he's attached to. My flesh is only my body. In other words, my body is the tool to carry out God's purposes. Once I say yes to God's purpose in my life, favor is attached to that purpose. Now, why does God want me to know that? Because in your own stature, in your own wisdom, in your own knowledge, you are the rejected one. Nobody thinks you will do anything. That's why he says, I'm not respecting your person or what you do and what you can accomplish. I have respect of your purpose. So you can look like nothing to nobody. But as long as you are carrying my purpose, you are everything to me. And I can open up every door that they said that could never open for you. If he is for you, he's more than every one of their no's against you. He'll download an information, a strategy inside you that'll have them wondering, how did you come up with that strategy? Well, you say, I didn't come up with it. I was just obedient. And when I'm obedient, he's going to give me what I need to advance. That's all it is. He's going to give me what I need to advance in my life. But I'm seeing things that's too inconvenient. I'm complaining about too much stuff, because in the shifting process, it's going to be uncomfortable. In the shifting process, it's going to be uncomfortable. You made shifts. You decided you're going to do things. Uncomfortable situations arise. That's just the way it is. There's a word called acclimated. You got to get acclimated. It ain't that it's against you. You just haven't gotten acclimated. You start a new job tomorrow. It's going to take you some time. Everybody else is going to seem as if they just whipping through it. It's going to take you some time because you have not become acclimated. Don't quit the job because you're not acclimated to it. Give yourself some time. Give yourself a couple of weeks, and then you'll be doing it and being able to eat at the same time. We got to become acclimated to our new levels. There's new levels that are being released right now because God is doing new things. He does not want to release a new level and leave you out. It's not God's intention to leave you out. It is not God's intention to leave. Don't be left out of your life. Don't you be left out of your life. Your life is a blessing. Don't you live a life that's not blessed. Your life is a blessing. Don't you live a life that's not blessed. Listen to me. I'm going to say it one more time and I got to go. I'll say it again. I got to go. Your life is a blessing. Do not live a life that is not blessed. I'm talking to you. Talking to you. I'm talking to you. We've been telling and teaching people that there is something that you were reared in. You were reared in something. Old folk and people from the country know this. And we know this well. There's a word called reared. And what this word means emphatically is this. That there's somebody that raised you that's different from the person that birthed you. And we're getting this in the spirit realm. We're getting this in the spirit realm. Now, this is not to be deep because everybody needs to know this. You need to know the God parts of you because it's been too difficult you fighting in your own power. And so we'll understand the difference between reared and birth. And so many right now have lived the life of the people or the family that reared you. But when destiny calls, it calls you from the thing that reared you into the thing that birthed you. Remember, Moses was reared in Egypt, but he was birthed in Israel. And so at the proper time, the birth calling comes. Now, here's why it's important that I understand this. Here's why it's important that I understand. Here's why it's important that you got. When you are reared into something, there's experiences that come with the rearing. Many of you have faced traumatizing situations from the thing that reared you. It's the only thing you know. Because if someone raised you, they give you their ideas, their the way that they act, their character is now downloaded into you. And so as a consequence in this life, there's a life that we were reared in, and we suffered trauma. We suffered experiences that have caused us to build a personality in our lives. Well, here it is. And it has affected every part of your life because of what you were reared in. Here's what I want you to know. Here's what I want you to know. No matter what you were reared in, there's a day that God calls you into what he birthed you for. And so, in other words, he said you went through trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma. You had the mishaps, the mistakes, the things that you shouldn't have done, and you beat yourself up. Well, the days of beating yourself is over because now he's revealing to you what you were birthed to. And here's the thing. You have got to shift into the birthing call, not the rearing call. Man, we were reared into things and it developed the mindset. It was not what we birthed into. Moses, thank you, missionary Betty O.T. Moses was reared in Egypt. He might have had a title as the prince, but there was something that he was birthed into. And the birth call is much bigger than the rearing call, even though the rearing call at the time might seem glamorous and might seem like it has given you some status. But if you can ever get to the place of what you were reared in, this changes your whole life. This changes your whole hurt. This changes everything. This causes you to see yourself as God sees you. This is what Jesus is actually saying in Luke chapter 2 to his mother and Joseph when they come back and find him in the temple, and they say, you have caused us much grief. And you know what he says to Joseph and his mother? He says this, wilt thou not that I be about my father's business? And that's an incredible statement to Joseph, who has reared him, has took his finance to raise him, has taken his time to go to baseball games with him, taken his time to make sure he was okay. For him to hear Jesus says, I must be about my father's business, that must have been traumatizing to Joseph. Well, here's what the scriptures declare. Even though you reared me, Joseph, you heard the angels say that this thing that I'm born into is much greater than man can accomplish. So no matter what man has done, whether it was positive or negative, when you come into your true birthday, God shifts your life and challenges you to go. Notice what the text says. It's very interesting. It says that now he agrees to the call that's on his life, his birth call that is on his life, not the carpenter call, but the birth call that is on his life. The Bible says that he grows. He grows. Listen to the text. He grows in stature and in favor. Listen, he grows. Favor. It's interesting that the Bible says that favor is found. They found favor in the sight. In other words, when I lock onto the true birthing purpose in my life, what I do, I find favor. Many of you that are listening to me are about to find favor. It's going to be an overwhelming, life-changing, life-altering, identification shifting. Everything is about to shift in your life because you are answering the birth call. Every hurt is going to be healed because the answering to the birth call. Every disappointment in your life is going to be rearranged because of the birth call. It can't happen until you answer the birth call. If you keep living what you were reared, it's going to continue to give you the thought patterns, the prompts, and everything. So God is changing you in this season. All right, I'm Pastor G. I just wanted you to understand that you are greater than what you are experiencing right now. You are much greater, much larger. There's a call that's calling. So now, don't call things inconvenient convenience. We got to shift this thing. We got to know that when every time I'm afforded a convenience, there's some inconvenient things that are attached to it. Just the way it is. If God says I can have it, there's a challenge I got to accept. I've got to accept. I accept the challenge. I accept the challenge because I'm ready to move on to my life. I'm ready to move on into my life. I'm ready to get all that God has said. I want to get focused in this season on what God said, not what everything and everybody else is saying. I want to get focused on what God says. Now, I want you to be blessed. I want you to make the decision to be blessed. Blessings start with decisions. Decisions decide seasons. If you're ready for a new season, get ready to make a different decision. Get ready for a decision to be made. God is going to allow you to revisit a place where you didn't make the right decision. Listen, you made a good decision. There's a difference between a good decision and the right decision. Now he's allowing us to make the right decision, not just a good decision. You can make a decision because other people are influencing you. They're telling you what they need out of you. They are praising you. Oh, I got to tell you this. I need to. This is just dropped in my spirit. I got to get it to you. There's a distinct difference between a good decision and the right decision. Somebody need to hear this because God just dropped it in my spirit. You got good people in your life and you're making good decisions, but it's not allowing you to maximize you. That's why, listen, Moses, you were reared in Egypt, but your birth call was in Israel. There's a shifting day coming that you are going to have to make a decision. Here's what happens. If you don't make the right decision, conflict comes in your life. Moses should have made the decision and left, but since he's got to kill somebody, now conflict. You don't need to leave with conflict. You need to leave because I made a decision that I'm going to leave. Now, I've got to know this. I've got to make decisions. Decisions decides season. Your season is going to change when you make the right decision. The right decision. There's a difference between a good decision and the right decision. Because you can make a good decision and still be in calamity and still be in turmoil. And then God will say, now make the right decision based off the purposes in which I created. Now that might conflict with a lot of people, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. What you do is follow the instruction of God and God will deal with them. You've been trying to explain to them, you were never successful with it. So now the next time you're going to go with the right decision, you're going to do what God says, and then you're going to move on. You're going to move on. You're going to move on. Are you listening to me? So destiny is waiting on you. It's waiting on you right now. Today is the day that you hear the voice of God. I don't care what your age is. I don't care how old you are right now. It doesn't matter your age. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1 says it. For everything, there's a season and a time to every purpose. Seasons The things don't develop until the season, the purpose is realized. Many have not been able to walk into a season is because they don't know what the purpose is. They don't know what it is. So God says it doesn't matter how old you are. If you figure out what he's called you to do, he's going to give you new energy, new strategy, new life is going to be began again. Your healing is going to come to your body. The things that's been messing over you in your body, God is going to heal your life. Healing is going to come because of your destiny answer. You answered destiny. You didn't make a good decision. You made a destiny decision. Pastor G is out of here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Pray for Kai and I as we are here enjoying ourselves in Los Angeles. We're going to have a great time while we are here. But I wanted to be faithful to Lunchtime Uplift because there are many shifting into something new. And it's going to be strange. Of course it is. Because you've never been here before. You done had some things that look like this, but this is the authentic. This is the authentic one. Why did God wait so long to bring it into your life? Now, God, I'm 50. Now, God, I'm 60. He says, you are settled enough to enjoy what he's giving you. Pastor G is out. For those of you, listen, I'm going to upload this to my YouTube page, Pastor G at Network of Beliefs. Can y'all go and subscribe to my YouTube page, Pastor G at Network Believers. Go back and listen to this video from the beginning. Go back and listen to it from the beginning. It'll bless you. Inconvenient convenience. We start calling things inconvenient convenient as opposed to I got a convenience afforded me and I'm going to be challenged with some inconvenience. I got to change my perspective so my energy can come back and so I can start accomplishing again. You have not made your best move yet. You have not did your best work yet. You have not even scratched the surface of what you are really going to do. You haven't even touched it. Thank you for being as good as you are, but you have not even touched where you are about to go. I speak that on your life. Blessings upon 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 blessings be upon you. Everywhere you turn, I want you to walk into a blessing. Pastor G is out. Holla.